Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Juice Opinions Volume 2. Of course, I'm Terminator Juice, and this is week number 2 of doing these. So let's see how it goes. First up on the docket is a pretty popular topic. It's trending on Twitter, and that's the NES Classic Edition. We knew about this thing back in like June or July, I forget the exact month. And here we go again. We got supply shortages or intentional, unintentional, who knows, but you can't find the damn thing. And it's like, come on, Nintendo. You knew people were going to want this thing. Why didn't you open up pre-orders when you announced the thing to see how many you'd need to produce, get an idea of the interest? Now here we are, launch day, and you got people in line at Best Buy, GameStops, Targets, in my city, which is like 150,000 people spread across a big area, with 2 Walmarts and 2 Myers, which are both 24 hours, and 3 GameStops, a Best Buy, 1 Target, and there's lines of 25 plus people at each store this morning. I thought I'd just swing by and pick one up before everyone else did, and didn't think there'd be lines and nothing like that. Figured there'd be plenty of stock, even though I did hear some rumblings that it might be limited. And it's like, why not just have a bunch of them there so people can buy it? Like, anybody that wants it can get it. And then, for the next couple weeks, Black Fridays, you'll sell them throughout, probably up until Christmas. They'll sell really well. Why is there such a small stock at launch? And it's like, it's not amiibos, because amiibos are a one-time run. Let's say the Marth or Wii Fit amiibo, they ran those 50,000, whatever the quantity was, and then they're done, and then they don't rerun those until like they have to stop something else and then do production to make like they restocked Lucina amiibos like a month ago or something. That's how long it took them to get back to the Lucina production. With the NES Classic, I don't think it's going to be like, I don't think it's, well, we're done with production type of thing. But it could be like the GameCube adapter for the Wii U, where they just didn't anticipate the demand. And by the time they caught up, it was like too late, because in that situation, there was third parties that worked just fine, which what I bought was a third party one. And I don't think that's going to happen. Obviously, you can't have third party come out with NES Classic, but to me, it's completely unacceptable. I said that I'd try a few stores a day. If I couldn't get one, once I heard they're going to be limited stock, it's like, that's it. I'm not Nintendo. You have 1 month to just have enough in stores where I happen to go to Best Buy or Meijer one day, see one, and pick it up. Because once we hit December and Shantae comes out, and then you got Darksiders Remaster. I never played Darksiders. I didn't play 2, so that comes out at the end of the month. You're done with me. Like, there's no reason for me to pick up an NES Classic in December where I'll have a couple games to play, and then next year it's all about the Switch. I'm not going to buy NES Classic at that point. It's too late. I wanted something to play for this holiday, just to kind of fill in some gaps and keep me entertained. And you lost me. If I don't find one in the store just randomly in the next couple weeks, I'm have no interest. So you lost a sale there. I probably bought a couple of them, and that's not even counting the short controller cord, which I was going to get some for like my sister, my brother, and then maybe give one of my parents to have at the house for the nieces and nephews or their grandkids. But with the 3-foot controller cords, I'd already decided not, because that's just so ridiculous for most people's setups. That makes no sense. Like where my mom has her TV, like there's nowhere for somebody to sit that close. So it's just stupid. I think the whole thing's just a clusterfuck. I was interested in playing like Super Mario Brothers 3. I haven't played that since the Game Boy Advance edition. And Mega Man 2, I haven't played that since it came out. I rented it. And then Castlevania. There was a few other games I was interested in, and I was like, it's a cool little package, and it looks cool. The controllers playing with the original NES. But now it's just like, I don't even care now. It's just stupid. And I can see not wanting to like mass produce 10 million, but come on. you had to know there was some demand. Should have let companies pre-order, and the reason they didn't, because they got burned on the new Game Boy, or new Game Boy, the new 3DS, the Majora's Mask editions, and they had to cancel people's pre-orders on certain models, and it's just stupid. So I'll just go on the eShop. I'll get Super Mario Bros. 3 on the Wii U, maybe Mega Man 2, and I'll be set. So, but then you got the whole scalping thing right now. I can't believe what I just seen. I looked at the completed listings on eBay, and the average price is like $160. But there's people who paid $400 buy it now price, $525 buy it now price, and then there's two that were over $1,000. And I take those with a grain of salt because I was selling stuff on eBay over the years, and one time I had really good bids, and it turned out to be a hacked account, and never had to relist it and stuff. So one was over 2,000, one was over 1,500. I don't believe that shit. I don't believe anyone's that dumb. So either it's a kid or some hacked account from overseas trying to take advantage of the situation. Because for me, I could see 100, 120 for someone who is desperate, like before Christmas. Just right now, if anyone's dumb enough to pay that and you have one, you might as well put it on there. I don't have any problem with someone putting it on there and selling it for $150. But the people that put $4,000 or best offer, like there's no offers on those. Those are the people that piss me off. If you just put an open bid and it gets up to 150, that's not on you. So all right, so that's it for the NES Classic. I think it's a missed opportunity. They should have had plenty in stock. And next up, I want to talk about kind of the opposite thing. Where you got the NES Classic going for high prices. Yesterday, a couple EA new games dropped significantly in price. Battlefield 1 and Titanfall 2. Basically, on Amazon yesterday, they were both $35 for PS4, Xbox One. And I was like, uh-oh, that's not a good sign. I see today Battlefield 1's not even listed, the original, only the special editions for $80. They don't have the basic version. So I don't know if Amazon was clearing stock or whatever. Titanfall is back up to like 48. So it's a kind of a fluctuating thing. But I just wanted to point out that I keep bringing up Titanfall 1. I bought on my PC 2 years ago, which was probably around this time. If it was early November, or actually no, it was late November. I picked it up for $5. The same year it came out in February or March, and in the end of November, I paid $5 for the $60 game. And then not too long after that, I get this off my screen here. Not too long after that, come on. They gave all the DLC for free to anyone who had the game. So that $5 got me the $60 game plus the $50 season pass. I got a sneeze coming, so pardon me if I gotta mute the mic. But yeah, so EA games, just wait. It's been like 2 weeks since Titanfall 2, and it was down to $35. That's almost a 50% reduction. So anyone, just words of wisdom. EA, especially EA, Battlefront did the same thing. Call of Duty around Black Friday used almost always drop to 40 to 50. Just wait a couple weeks. I mean, what's the big deal? Save yourself 25, $30, and just wait. And I think the main reason I want to bring it up was how dumb was it for EA to launch 2 first-person shooters within a couple weeks of each other right before Call of Duty, and you're competing with yourself. It's just stupid. And yeah, you can play multiple first-person shooters at a time, but come on, there's only a certain amount of people willing to play online, and so you split it up into 3, and instead of having like Call of Duty and having this huge group of people and all the game modes full with tons of players, now you got people deciding between Titanfall 2 and all its game modes, Battlefield 1, all its game modes, and Call of Duty and all its game modes. And it's just, especially for EA to release those 2 games around the same time, was just stupid. Just wait till January, February, when people are fed up with Call of Duty, release Battlefield 1 or Titanfall 2, then, and just have I think Battlefield would probably be better against Call of Duty this holiday, and then go Titanfall 2 in February or March. You know, that would have been made more sense, but whatever. I'm not super interested in either of those games, but for $35, Titanfall 2 might have been worth it. Just the campaign's getting some pretty good feedback from players saying it's pretty fun. It's a little short, but yeah, Doom does seem to be a pretty solid first-person shooter. I got the chat open right here, but the online for that just died off, and no one really cared about that. So I bet you if I bought it today, like on PC, there'd be almost nobody playing, which was the problem with Titanfall. Even for I paid $5 and there's nobody on, you know, a game that's online only, basically. So the next thing, speaking of Call of Duty, I want to talk about Windows 10 and the Windows 10 store, and what a just monumental fuck up it was releasing Call of Duty on the Windows 10 store on PC and not having the lobbies link up with either the Xbox One or the Steam players. Robert from Gaming With Me had to basically, he saw somewhere where there was only like 2 people online the morning of or the day of, and they actually had to complain and get the refund for the Windows 10 version because they just figured, like I would have figured, it's going to be Xbox One versus Windows 10 players all in one group, which would be cool. It would suck for the Xbox One guys going against the keyboard and mouse PC guys. It might have been an unfair thing, but maybe you could have had an option where it's PC, Xbox One mixed, and have exclusive PC, exclusive console where people could choose, or just have the Windows 10 version sync up with the Steam user base, which isn't very large. Robert told me the opening the week it came out, there was like 13,000 people online. Infinite Warfare on PC, and like 3,000 on the remastered. So it just makes no sense. If you're going to have multiplats in the Windows 10 store, if you ask me, those players better be in the same pool of players as the Xbox One gamers, because otherwise, why have the Windows 10 platform? It makes no sense, because you have your Xbox Live, you have to have gold. Possibly, I guess maybe they did separate that, but from what I can tell, I thought you had to have gold on Windows 10. Maybe that's why it's separate. I don't know, but I just think it's stupid. It's just a waste of time, and don't buy the Windows 10 version of a multiplat, especially an online one. Now, I do believe Gears 4, the Windows 10 and the Xbox One players play in the same group. Not 100% on that. I know that is that way for Forza Horizon 3, which makes sense. So if you're a third party and you're multiplat, don't put the game on Windows 10 if it's not syncing up with Xbox One gamers. Like that's so anyone out there, don't buy the Windows 10 version of any game that's not a Microsoft exclusive. So yeah, the last thing I want to talk about, and this is kind of going on, Xbox One S, you know, has the Ultra HD Blu-ray player. The PS4 Pro doesn't. People were making a big deal about that, and my first reaction was, why would I buy a PS4 Pro then? If I had a 4K TV, I want an Ultra HD Blu-ray player, and now I got to have 2 devices. Like, that's stupid. But after thinking about it, and if you go to Blu-ray.com, check out their reviews of 4K movies, especially when it comes to the video quality, which is the only benefit of Ultra HD movies. And the terms you'll see is slight improvement, marginal improvement. It's definitely a cleaner image once you get them side by side. You know, it's minimal, and I'll give you a couple of reasons why. First off, movie directors, especially some of the older ones, they love film grain. There's reviewers who love film grain. They hate digital shot movies that don't have film grain. I don't know why. Film grain looks stupid to me. It looks terrible. I've never liked it. And as soon as we got into Blu-ray, it became a problem more than anything, because it's like, wow, just looks like static. Like, it looks terrible. Like Batman vs Superman has just a ton of film grain, and that doesn't look any better in 4K. If anything, it looks worse. Now, if you shot like a native 4K, like digital video camera, like nature, all the demo things you see in the stores that show off 4K, that's all clean 4K. That's not a film with different lenses and film grain and all this. So those look amazing, whereas movies don't get it really any benefit from that. And going back to I watched a DVD this weekend, V for Vendetta. I didn't have the Blu-ray, and it was like, yeah, up close, like I didn't miss the Blu-ray, but in faraway shots, like a zoomed out London, yeah, it looked grainy, it looked terrible, it looked just low quality, low resolution. So Blu-ray definitely has its benefits, but when you try to go to 4K, it's even less of a, like, the diminishing returns for video games. It's marginal. And then the worst part of it is a lot of these films are finished at 2K, which is 1440p. So they're not even filmed in 4K. They're not finished in 4K. The special effects, all the CG's not in 4K. It's in 2K. So it's just an up converted. It's basically like the DVD players that had HDMI back in the day that were up converting to 1080p. It's basically what you're getting. Slight improvement in quality, but like The Revenant, that's one of the few movies that was shot in 4K, and it just really takes advantage of the format. But most movies that are out right now that you can go buy on Blu-ray, DVD, that are older movies and stuff, they're not going to see a huge benefit. So that's one reason that the Ultra HD player isn't that big a deal. I also think the format's going to fail within 2 years. It's not going to exist at all. And the only thing that could change that is if a major movie shot in 4K and it was just like such an obvious improvement, like, even with Avatar with 3D, that only lasted a couple years. That really showed what 3D could do, and that only lasted a couple years. Now 4K TVs are probably going to just keep being made, because why not? It's just a higher resolution. Even with 1080p stuff, you got a higher pixel count. It's just going to be a better image. But as far as the movies taking advantage of it, it's not that big of an improvement for movies. I don't know if sports or anything will ever go that route. Even 1080p sports streaming, not streaming, but my cable comes into my house, and then that X1 box decodes like 400 channels. So it's not really that good of quality. Even football games don't even look amazing. Maybe the Sunday night game, but so I don't think 4K is going to be anywhere near what like the demo looks like in the store, like that short little demo. Like live sports is never going to be up to that standard with the bandwidth we have, maybe 50 years from now or something. But and then the other thing is that the Blu-ray format isn't even that popular right now as compared to what people thought. Now, there's some stores that you go there, like Target has great Blu-ray selection, but one of the biggest chains in the country, Walmart, you go there, and guess what? You're gonna be hard pressed to find a Blu-ray. They went back to DVDs as their main format for movies. And you could say, well, that's look at the people that shop at Walmart, this and that, but Nintendo partners with Walmart a lot. There's a lot of people that shop at Walmart. I talk to people at work about it, and like, well, I just watch DVDs. I just rent DVDs. I buy DVDs. Like, there's people that still just buy the DVD, still rent the DVD. And I took a quick count at Walmart, and they have hundreds of movies, and I think I seen a dozen Blu-rays, and most of them were the new releases. They're going back to DVD. So what chance does Ultra HD have when Blu-rays are getting pushed out at Walmart in favor of DVDs? Which just drives me crazy, because it's like the Blu-ray players are 20, 30, 40 bucks for a really cheap one, and the decent ones are under 80 bucks. Blu-ray movies are $10 everywhere. I pick up $10 and less Blu-rays all the time. So there's no reason not to have the Blu-ray. Everyone's got an HD TV at this point. You're using HDMI. Why go back? Because the difference between a DVD and a Blu-ray is way bigger than a Blu-ray to Ultra HD. So it just it just boggles my mind that they're going back to DVDs, and that people I know who are younger than me are still content with watching DVDs. And yeah, so it's crazy. But so I guess it doesn't really make the PS4 Pro not having the Ultra HD Blu-ray player a huge deal. I think actually the bigger issue is that the HDMI format for 4K HDR is 2.0, HDMI 2.0, and then the PlayStation VR only has 1.4A or whatever. So you can't even have your VR box hooked in between your PS4 Pro and your 4K TV because it doesn't have the proper HDMI support, which is just, to me, is really stupid. But anime DVDs look better than Blu-ray? Hell no, not even close. Go watch a good animated movie, anime or whatever, Princess Mononoke. Come on, dude. Sprite. It's not even close. I was just blown away when I started. Actually, animated movies, in my opinion, benefit the most from 1080p over 480p, even more so than live action movies. I go watch Beauty and the Beast or The Lion King on Blu-ray if you got Netflix or whatever. The Blu-rays, just add that one because you'll be amazed. The really old ones don't look as good, but the only reason an anime wouldn't look as good is if it's like imported, or they're not hugely popular here and they don't put a lot of effort into the transfer. It might just be a 480 up convert on Blu-ray. It might not be a full resolution boost, but check out some of the higher profile Disney and the Studio Ghibli's anime, which I would consider Studio Ghibli an anime movie, like a feature film anime. Looks phenomenal, so I got to disagree there. But anyway, that's going to be it. I want to keep these kind of shorter. It's not going to be a podcast and stuff, so I'll be back next week. Got some more topics, give you guys my opinions on them, and so yeah, we'll talk to you then.